You see that? You see that? Margaret just accepted my friend request and on Facebook. I'm so nervous. I'm so nervous. She said, "Hi, Dee." I'm saying hello. Um, so sorry to hear Eugene passed away. Sorry for your loss. For your loss. Oh God. So she's not my mother, but she's like my stepmother. Okay, she's typing. It's like 6:42 p.m. Did I say that already? You have questions. Yes. Did you know he had a daughter? In 1971. I said, did you know he had a daughter in 1971? What else am I supposed to say? I really don't know what I should say. Did he know? My armpits, like, you know when you're nervous sweating and your armpit itches because it's sweating? I'm nervous, I'm nervous. Okay, she didn't see it yet. I love how Facebook, you can see when they see what you said. So last night I sent her a video that just says, "Hey, I don't want you to think this is a spam. I would like to talk to you about Eugene." And then today, just now, I sent her this picture of me and him together. Oh, she still hasn't looked at it. And as we were talking, I was just going through all of Eugene's friends on Facebook. I think he has 800. She's typing. Can you guys see this? I don't even know if you can see it. Go ahead. I'm just gonna say it. I'm his daughter. His. Oh, wait, she's typing now. I want to wait and see what she says before I say, I'm his daughter. I think she's getting my messages late because she asked, do I have any questions? I said, yes. And now she said, go ahead. And I said, did you know, did you know he had a daughter in 1971? Did he know? She's typing. I think she's typing, changing her mind, typing and changing her mind. Oh my God. She's either typing a lot or she wants me to call her. I think he was told the daughter he thought was his turned out not to be his. I think he was told the daughter he thought was his turned out not to be his. I'm not sure of the year. We married in 1979 and this child was an infant then. Boy. I did the DNA on Ancestry.com, and everything comes down to him as my father. She's really the only one who can. I'm trying to think who else would be able to like give me pictures or stories about him. So if she's not willing to talk to me about him and let me know more about him or stories about him, then I probably won't have any more connection than what I have on Facebook. None of this is familiar to me, sorry. Jewel put me up for adoption, period. So no one in the family even knew, period. I'm finding everybody right now. Whose DNA did you compare yours to? Oh, she said he would have been thrilled. Oh, that's so awesome that he would have been thrilled. Let me take a screenshot of this. Hold on. And I just told her that I'm matched with Ophelia Chapman on Ancestry. And I'm going to ask her, are you thrilled? I don't want to bother you. I don't want to bother you if it will upset you. Maybe his sister would know more than me. I'll ask her. Yeah. His sister, shit. I should know this. Like, I need to tattoo a family tree on my arm because it's so complicated when you're like, oh, my grandfather's sister's daughter's nephew is my whatever, you know? maybe his sister would know. So his sister would be my aunt. And I got up this morning and the whole wall of stuff that I put up there, the family tree on the wall, it fell down. Ophelia is his cousin. She has brothers. What does that mean? My birth name was Ophelia Opal Gray. Okay, I'm going to stop writing because it seems like I think she's a little behind. Because she hasn't answered yet if she's thrilled. I said I don't want to bother or upset you. A lot of this video is just me sitting here doing nothing. I don't. What time did I go to bed? 4, 3 or 4. I'm getting a headache. My neighbor frickin' knocks on my door. No, I'm a little surprised, but since we were not able to have children, it would be wonderful if this proves to be true. Aww. Yay. They couldn't have children. She couldn't have children because he did. I'm sending her a little cartoon of a little ducky with hearts. Have you spoken to Ophelia? She's on vacation till Monday, period. We message back and forth on Ancestry. I know this girl is, sorry, my coworker is texting me. She better not say, oh, can you give me a ride tonight? She's going to want to ride to work. She's going to want to ride to work and I don't even have to work. She's going to have to take a ride early. Back to the messages. Okay. She said, have you spoken to Ophelia? I said, she's on vacation till Monday. We messaged back and forth on Ancestry. Come on, say something. Yay. You know, I was really worried last night when I sent her the message because, you know, when you get a new message, it goes to your other mailbox. I don't know if it does on everybody's, but because she's older, I was like, does she know to check her other mailbox, like, for my message? Alright, let me smoke this little piece of cigarette. I was just about to go do laundry. Okay, she saw it. Last night, Catrice asked me how I can stay so calm. I think it's because I've been searching for so freaking long that in my mind it's just about time. You know, I'm not like, I mean, I'm excited, but because he passed away, I don't think I'll ever meet him. But the fact that he would have been excited to know that I was a lot, he had a baby. Jewel could kiss my fucking ass. I really need to know her story, because until she tells me the story, I'm going to be pissed off at her. Because how it turns out is I met my birth mother, Jewel, July 21st, 2016. He died November 1st, 2016. So that day that I met her, if she would have told me who my dad was, I could have met him before he died. And that's upsetting. Beyond upsetting. But hopefully Margaret will let me live through her eyes, and I'll be able to know my dad more, or maybe see videos. I want to see videos so bad. Okay. Oh, she's not said anything to me, but I will speak with her. Because of other circumstances, I've learned to be wary of people claiming blood ties, so forgive me. No problem. I just found out last night myself. Period. So I will... no, that's not what I want. I sent Ophelia a message right before I sent you a message. No problem. I just found out last night myself. And I know what she's talking about, because she said, because of other circumstances, I've learned to be wary of people claiming blood ties. And I think it's because of Sam Cooke. Like, a lot of people are saying, oh yeah, blah, blah, blah. Do you have any verbal history that puts your birth mother with Jean? I just found my birth mother's family 5 days ago. Period. I'm still working with them and getting information when I can. She said, it looks like I have as many questions as you. There's another girl on Ancestry. Her name is Deja Cooke. Period. Her grandfather is Charles Cooke. I'm glad I didn't. I'm kind of glad I wasn't. Well, no, I can't say I'm glad I wasn't related to Sam Cooke, but I think it would be more difficult to talk to those people If it was directly like related to a daughter or something. Cock. Whoops. We don't want to put cock. Let's say Charles. Hold on. So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So there's 8 kids. Mary, Charles, Private, Willie, Sam, Elsie, Eugene. Oh wait. I don't know how this works. Wait. Anna, May, and Charles Cook. I don't know how I wrote this shit down. Look at how I wrote it. It's just, it doesn't make any sense to me now. It made sense to me when I was writing it down, but now I'm like, what the fuck? I'm talking to Margaret right now, period. She wants to know how old you are. Period. And what your dad's name is. And mother. Let me see if she said. Just in case. My grandmother's name is. Her grandmother's name is Phyllis. I know her grandmother's name is Phyllis. Period. I have to wait for her to answer me in a message because I don't have her phone number yet. Period. We just started talking a few days ago. I'm looking through the messages now to get more names. I need a pen. Charles. Okay, so Charles Sr., his wife is Anna Mae, and Charles Jr.'s wife is Phyllis Cook. So I think one of Charles Cook Sr.'s. Didn't branch out my tree to include my grandfather's siblings, so I don't know. I think my tree will help. She doesn't really tell me her dad's name. I don't think so, but I can ask my dad and grandma. My dad said Mary is my grandfather's sister. Okay, I'm just gonna send her a picture of her. A picture. I think she will be able to. Let me see. Hold on, please. So I sent her a picture of the one I'm talking about. Maybe she'll just know from a picture. That's Deja on the left. Okay. Nothing else really else is going on. What's the, sorry. Sorry about 30 minutes of you just pretty much seeing me sit here, so. I will get back on if something happens. Okay, let me go back a little bit. Oh, it keeps jumping. Okay. She said, "No, I'm a little surprised, but since we were not able to have children, it would have been wonderful if this proves to be true." And then I was talking about my birth family, my birth mother, and how, the other connections. Um, and Deja said that they had a family reunion in Wisconsin. So Margaret says, "We were there for that reunion, and all of the names check out. I would guess that she's Charles the Third's daughter. So not as they're only a Charles Jr. and Sr., there's another one." Then she asked where I live. She still lives in the Chicago area. She said, "I really wish I could help you connect with Gene, but the union their union was way before my time, and I just don't remember him telling me that he even had a clue about you. We didn't have too many secrets, but because of history of infertility on both our parts, he would have moved heaven and earth for you." Wow. And it turns out they lived in Chicago, 2 hours away from where I grew up. I had a whole father right there. And I told her the secrecy was probably on Jewel's side, not Eugene's side. And she said, "Don't be upset with Jewel, as in those times the theme was free love and people hooked up without a lot of thought of consequence." And I told her about um, the fact that I met Jewel on July 21st, and he died November 1st. And she said July was during the time that he had just been diagnosed, and that would have would have been wonderful, truly. So maybe if I would have met him when he got diagnosed, he would have fought harder or something and still be alive today. Who knows? Okay, and then she says, "How can I help you? Pictures, anything?" And I asked her for video, medical history. Oh, this is so cute. Hold on. Can you see that? That is so adorable. He's a dog lover just like my. It's crazy, but she could be my mother. Like, she's. Save photo. 2009. I have that one. She's sending me pictures I already stole. She's sending me pictures I already stole off of her Facebook. Any video with him talking? Question mark. Oh my God. Any video So I guess this makes you my stepmom. Okay, this is my stepmother? Or this is my grandmother. Wow, she looks young. Must run in the family. Sorry, hold on, let me see. Oh, I bet you that's the one. Home, go home. Hold on, let me see. I have a picture I took off this video. Yeah, I'm gonna send her these two. Cancel. So she can tell me. Mother in love. Come on. I can't. Okay, I can't type with this thing. Gotta go. I met, or Friday. Today is Saturday, right? Yesterday. Oh, I've been getting like 3 hours of sleep a night. It's crazy. Um, so Friday I met with my first cousin on my mom's side.
Is your birth mom still alive?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, she's in Missouri. And let me go back even farther because when I've been searching for her since I was 22.
Oh,
and
wow.
she's been denying, because they have to send her certified paperwork, and her husband now doesn't know. So
Oh, okay.
what I did is got on Facebook, found these people. They found her in like 2 days. I hopped on a plane. She taught art classes. So I went to Missouri from California, took one of her art classes, and
What?
at the end I told her. So
Oh, my.
that's how I met her. But when I asked her about my father, she kind of blew it off and was like, acted like she didn't know who the father was and whatever. So all the paperwork that I had on him, I thought it was all a lie, So I never really, I more concentrated on her side of the family.
Mm-hmm.
So I met with her sister's son, Andre, which is my cousin. I met with him Friday. And when I was talking to him and showing him the paperwork, he said, "Well, what about your father?" So that's when I pulled out the paperwork I had, because I hadn't looked at it in a long time, because I thought, nothing of it. So the paperwork that I got from the adoption agency, um, from when from when I got my family history, because you can get your medical records, non-identifying information. That's what they call it.
Right. Right.
They take a Sharpie and they blacken out the
Right.
parts that you can't see.
Right.
But with my paperwork, if I held it up to the window,
Uh-huh.
I could read everything.
Uh-huh.
But now they like do it in triplicate and they make sure you can't see it. But I had hand wrote on there. I knew it said Eugene, but I thought it said Johnson.
Oh.
So Friday night when I got home, I was looking through your family tree,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember seeing um, a J last name. I had my glasses
Mm-hmm.
off, so I was like,
Mm-hmm.
"Oh, Eugene Johnson." So I'm talking to Catrice, and then I put my glasses on, and it said Jameson, and I was like, "Well, that's got to be the connection, because
Mm-hmm.
Eugene, you know."
Right.
So at first, when we were doing, because she helped me a lot, she's obsessed with Ancestry.com. So she
And
knows
who
how
was
to work.
that?
Catrice, she's on my mother's side. She's a second
Oh,
cousin.
okay. Okay.
So she helped me break everything down. And because I was thinking it was Eugene Sr., but he was 40 around the time that I was born. So then she um, told me who to ask what. And because you were on
Mm-hmm.
vacation, I was talking to Deja Cook. Is she?
Yes. Chucky's daughter.
Yeah, so I was talking
Mm-hmm.
to her, and she helped us piece it together last night. And yeah, it just, it's
Because when
crazy.
you asked me what was his Eugene's, son's name, and that's why I said Eugene James, and that he would be 68, that's why I gave you that information, just to let you know that he had passed away, but
Mm,
he would be 68.
yeah.
Wow.
So that's how we figured it out.
Wow. Because here's the irony in this. The very first person that I talked to about you
Hmm.
is your aunt, Jean's sister.
He has two or
That
three, right?
No, he
Or
has one.
one.
He has one sister, uh, Michelle Renee, and Renee and I are like 1 week apart in age. But
Oh,
she was the very first person that I talked to
uh,
about you. Because,
okay.
trying to figure out, I said, I'm in touch with somebody. I said, I know she's my cousin. Now she's going to be shocked to find out that you're her niece. But, I said, I know she's our cousin because, and I'm going through this. And I said, and so we're trying to go through thinking our other uncles. But that's another story, which sometime we'll talk about that family tree, But uh, so, I said, I know she is. And I said, does this name Jewel Dean mean anything to you? And she was like, no, I've never heard that name. And then so we're like just trying to figure out But she was the very first person that I talked to about you.
And her name's
Before I even talked to my Uncle David, our Uncle David.
Yeah, because
before I even talked to him.
I don't even think I have Michelle on. I don't think that's on anybody's family tree. That you.
Yeah, and see,
Eugene's sister.
I stopped working on. Because I really went into this working a lot on my husband's side, and then I was concentrating on our side of the family because your great grandmother, our grandmother, as I said, she was adopted, and it's a whole lot of stuff to that. So originally, I was really searching, trying to find more information about her biological parents.
Okay.
You know, and that's why I was really delving into that. And I hadn't been on in ages. When I got, the message, I was like, oh, I got a message here, So I hadn't put in all of, the rest of it. But yeah, Jean only had one sister, and that's Renee. And like I said, we all grew up really close because we're just a week apart, and there were like on that side of the family, there were a ton of us born. Literally a ton of us born in 1953. It's like everybody had. So there were so many of us born in 1953.
Yeah.
All the three sisters all had babies in September of 1953. My mother and her two sisters had babies in September, and then Michael Charles had one in October, and then there were two more in April. I mean, we're just like a bunch of babies my age. But so we were, so I was talking to Renee, trying to figure out before I had even talked to David. Oh my goodness. But when you said Jean, because Jean, we were really close. I mean, really, really close.
Mm-hmm.
And so all of this just, really hurt my heart. When he passed away, that was just like So then when I'm like, Jean is her father. Jean is her father?
Right. Yeah.
Because, and I was saying to, because I'm not at home, I'm in Nashville, and I was saying, I'm visiting my goddaughter, and I was saying to her, I said, I finally took him off my Facebook as a friend because I just couldn't stand to see things pop up, memories, popping up, and I'm like, I'm taking him off.
Yeah.
But you've probably gone on the Facebook page, and so I'm sure you've seen pictures of me on his Facebook page.
I don't. It doesn't pop up because I don't think I can see everything because I'm not friends.
But you know what? Tonight when I looked on there, and I'm not friends with him anymore, and I didn't go into deep, but some of the things are on there. And one of the things that's on there is the picture. It's a group picture, and it's the last time that I saw him. And it's the day he told me he was sick, and that was at our cousin Donald's funeral. And Donald was, he was my aunt. I keep saying mine, but our Aunt Mary's son, who was also born in September. So that was the oldest sister. Actually, she was the oldest of the Cook children. And at his funeral, after his funeral, we were at Uncle David's house, and that's when he told me that he was sick.
Okay.
And so but there's a group picture.
Is it outside?
I'm sorry?
Is it outside with a little boy?
No, it's inside because it was at I'm going to see if I can pull it up on here. It'll come up. It was inside because it was at the repast. It was at Donald's repast. And there's there's a bunch of my cousins on there, my brothers, and actually your cousin Renee only has one. She only has one child, a son, Anthony, and his picture. Actually, now when I pulled up, and I'm not friends with him anymore, and I put Eugene Jameson, and it came right up, and the very first picture is this group picture that I'm talking about. The very first one that came up, and it's posted from 2016, and I guess Chucky must have posted this one. Eugene Jameson is with Charles Cook and 8 others, but this picture was on there a few other times. But it's the very first one that comes up.
Is it a public? Is it a public photo? Because I don't see it.
Really?
Yeah.
And I don't have, like I said, he's not a friend with me anymore because I took him off of my, I'm on my iPad, and, there he is, and it just says post, and it says post from 2016. And the very first one that comes up is it's a group picture, and on there you would see a bunch of your cousins.
Yeah, the first one I have is May 24th, 2016.
16?
16.
Huh. Okay. Let's see. And who's on the picture?
It's just him with some white pillows in the background, and he has on a black t-shirt.
And I'm not even seeing that one. I guess I don't know how Facebook does this and what comes up depending on, because I see probably the one you were talking about with the outside and a little boy.
Mm-hmm.
That looks like. Oh, that is. And next to her is David Jr., who I just mentioned on that picture in Nashville. I just saw him on Wednesday night. And the little boy is his son Brendan, and Brendan is in his 20s now. But that particular picture, yeah, I see that particular picture.
Okay.
But the other one's not there. That group photo's not there, huh?
No.
Well, that's
Agnes
interesting.
Is Agnes still alive?
No.
Okay.
No. She passed in 2008. As I said, the only, I was saying to you before that the only living sibling, there were 8, and the oldest was actually adopted, but he was a cousin of my grandmother, so he was still our family, but he was adopted. So the oldest son, Willie, was adopted, and then Mary, who passed away when she was in her 60s, was the oldest, and then Charles passed away in 2010. And after Charles was my mother, and my mother's name was Hattie.
Okay.
And Hattie passed away in 2003. And after Hattie was Sam. So you know that connection now of Sam Cooke?
Yeah.
So that's your uncle.
Yeah.
Your great uncle. And well, of course, he was 33 back in '64 when he was killed. He was under my mother, and after him was L.C. Cook, and L.C. just passed away last year.
Oh, wow. I saw one picture of him so far.
Go ahead.
I saw one picture of L.C. so far.
Yeah, he passed away last year. And after L.C. was Agnes. She was the baby girl, and she passed away, as I said, in 2008. And so the last one remaining is David. And David is 75, I believe. And I talked to him, as I said, I did talk to him last week to ask him as well, if Jewel rang any bells with him, and he didn't know.
Mm-hmm.
So I will definitely I was going to call him anyway because it was his son that I saw here last Wednesday.
Okay. So I'm not looking at my little chart right now, but Agnes is Jean's mother.
Yes.
So David is your uncle. Okay.
Right.
Gotcha.
And your uncle as well.
Okay. Great uncle.
Because great uncle, right? Because
Okay.
he is your grandmother's brother, your grandmother's baby brother. My mother is your grandmother's sister.
Okay. Whew. Lots of people. Lots of people.
I know.
I'm happy though, cause.
Well, yeah. I mean, you have to be to find, after all this time, to be able to find find all this. I mean, and for me, it's just like I was just and still flabbergasted because I wasn't expecting to find this through through ancestry. And that's why I said, when you said Ophelia, it's like, I got my name from my dad's side of the family. And then you were like, well, maybe I'm related. And I'm like, no, you are definitely related to the other side of the family, because I'm looking at, and those are the only two other cousins that I have seen on Ancestry, close cousins. I got a bunch of others, but I knew for sure because I knew Deja was Chucky's daughter and Kimber is Keith's daughter. Kimber Bowling, who we didn't grow up with her father. Her father is my first cousin, but I've actually never met him. He is the son of Sam.
And who?
And I've met Kimber before, so I mean, I knew she was my cousin for sure, and I knew Deja, and I knew that they were both cousins of my first cousins, daughters of my first cousins, rather. So that's why I said that you're on the Cook side of the family.
Okay, okay. And then who is I think my speaker. Sorry, I dropped this phone in the water before. Speaker keeps going out. Who is Deja's mother?
I actually don't know Deja's mother at all. Her father is Chucky, or Charles Cook Jr. So her father, her grandfather is Charles Cook.
Okay, Charles.
He was named after, Chucky, I guess, is the third. Chucky must be the third. I'm saying Junior, but because my grandfather was Charles Cook Sr. And so Deja's grandfather is Charles Cook Jr.
And
her father is also named Charles Cook. We call him Chucky.
Okay, so the Charles that's brother to Mary and Hattie, and that's the junior?
Yes.
Okay.
That's Deja's grandfather.
Gotcha.
But her father is also Charles Cook.
Okay, Charles the third.
Right. Deja's father is Charles Cook as well.
Okay, okay. And that's too funny because my nickname is Deja.
I saw that on some, because I went and I'm like, okay, let me look on Facebook. I looked on, there's nothing I'm on Facebook, but there's nothing on my Facebook page.
Yeah.
But I was like, it says Deja on here, and I'm like, isn't that, Now, how do you say your name?
So my adopted name is DeLynn.
DeLynn, and that's what I thought when I first saw it. I thought it was DeLynn, but I wasn't sure.
Yeah, when I was talking to Catrice, she's like, well, people are going to get that connection, and because you're using your adopted name, nobody's going to know what you're talking about. And even Andre, my first cousin, he's like, yeah, you popped up a long time ago on mine, but I was like, okay, Ancestry's just a scam because I don't know who this is. So then once I put Ophelia Opal Gray on there, then the connection started coming because Opal is my grandmother. So my middle name is after my grandmother.
Really?
Yeah. That's why I thought Ophelia had something to do with...
That's interesting because Ophelia is definitely not a common name, and then it really wasn't. It's never been common.
Right. And in my foster care paperwork, they nicknamed me Faye. So they were calling me Faye instead of Ophelia.
Huh. That is so interesting. Now, let me ask you though, so are you in contact with your biological mother, with your birth mother?
Because she left it. Okay, when I met with her, we talked for about 2 hours after. We ended up just talking about my son. She's very good at avoiding. How do I want to say? I don't know. She's good at avoiding stuff. So at the end, I was like, "Oh, can I get a picture with you?" Because my son was with me. And she dismissed him. She's like, there's things that kids don't need to hear. I'm like, I share everything with my kids. So, but she still didn't want to talk at all in front of him. So at the end, I was like, can we get a picture? She's like, no. I need you to provide your original birth certificate. And I was like, it's a closed adoption. I have no access to that. And she's like, well, that will tell me, the name that I gave you and da 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 da. I was like, you mean Ophelia Opal? And she's like, yeah, if you know that, then you have your birth certificate. I was like, no, it's in my foster care records. And she's like, they told me that you were never going to go to foster care, that you were going to go live in this mansion and da 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 da. I said, I didn't live in no mansion. Sorry. They totally lied to you to take your baby. But
now, where was she from? She was from Wisconsin?
originally, I believe, originally her family was from Missouri. And they ended up in the Racine area, I believe.
Okay.
So
Huh. I was just trying to think, when did she and Jean, how did they come? Because Jean always lived in Chicago. And I was just trying, I can't, during that time, the time you were born, because I graduated from high school in 70,
mm-hmm.
and in 71, at the time you were born, I was at school. I was in Northern Illinois. I was in college then, so I was at school. And so, I mean, I don't know, obviously I don't know every move Jean made, but I was
mm-hmm.
just trying to figure out, like, when, because then when you said Army, then I was like, well, no, nobody was in the Army,
Right.
Then, and then you said they were light-skinned, and then I was going through, that's why I never even thought it could be
Yeah.
light.
And that's when I figured out that Jewel lied about all that stuff on there.
So she told you that?
No, it's she didn't tell me. It was on the paperwork I have from the non-identifying birth records.
Really?
Yeah. But it has his name on there.
Yeah.
So she said the name,
Wow.
but I think she was just trying to throw everything off track.
Right.
Like maybe one day she said, his name, and then maybe they did an exit interview or something, and I'm not sure, but she is
But she
a
would
piece
not
of
tell
work.
you his name.
Nope. And even when I told her my birth name, she still wouldn't let me take a picture. And when I asked her about my father, she said, "Oh, it could be any number of people," and then gave me that little eye look, like, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So
Right.
I think it's just, I don't know, but I really want to know that story. So after I met with Andre, his mother might be willing to talk to me, and that's Jewel's baby sister. So hopefully they're close enough in age that
she really remembers and knows something.
Yeah, but I even asked Andre. Okay, Andre's acting the same way Jewel was, because I asked what are the order of the sisters, because there's 4 sisters: Jewel, Ruby, Deborah, and Pam. He couldn't even tell me that order. And then when we were in the coffee shop, age came up, and I was like, oh yeah, I never even asked how old are you. He's like, let me think. And I was like, let me think. You don't know how old you are? So something's going on in that family, that there's some big secret, and I'm not sure what's going on, because the adoption search people that I used way back in the 90s, when she got the paperwork, she said, oh, I found your mom, because they charge by the hour. And she's like, I found your mom in 2 days. She's like, all I did was call your grandmother, pretend like I went to high school with her, and ask for her phone number.
Wow.
So she was in Wauwatosa. My grandmother was in Wauwatosa. So I'm guessing Wauwatosa, Racine area in Wisconsin, that's where they were when all this happened. But now it turns out my grandmother, on her side, lives 10 minutes from my house.
What?
I'm
What?
gonna cry.
Where
I'm like,
do you live?
where now?
Yes, where do you live?
I'm in Texas. I'm in Dallas.
Oh, okay.
And I just moved here in February.
Okay, used to live there. He's been gone for about a year now. He lives in D.C., but he lived in Dallas for a little bit.
Oh, okay.
So you're in Dallas.
Mhm.
Okay.
Where are you?
I live in Las Vegas.
Ooh, I can come. I'll come
And
visit you in Vegas.
I've been in Las Vegas since, that's why I know Gene and Margaret's wedding date so well, because they got married right after I moved to Vegas, and I missed their wedding, but then they came out here on their honeymoon, so I got to see them right after they got married.
Oh,
That's
nice.
why I always know exactly the year that they got married.
Okay. Wow.
Wow. This is just, it's mind-blowing to me, and I have to tell you, I've lost a little sleep as as we've been communicating, because because I've been racking my brain trying to, figure out, but never would I have put Gene in this. Never. I'm thinking, first I'm like, okay, my uncles, and I have to say, my uncles were definitely Rolling Stones. So we're always uncovering.
Yeah, they are a pretty good looking bunch.
Definitely Rolling Stones. So we're always uncovering family members. So none of that ever surprises me.
Mhm.
But then it was like, well, no, we share great grandparents, and I'm like, well, then that means it could be my mother's siblings, or like I said, my grandfather has so many siblings that it's like I wouldn't even know.
Yeah, when you first told me that, I was like, "Oh, this is going to be difficult." That's when I was almost ready to I was almost ready to give up when you said that. I was like, "That's too many people."
Yeah, because it's a bunch of them, and we never really, like my mother knew who they, but we didn't really grow up with them, so I didn't really know them. You hear a name here, but we didn't really know them or their family, so it's like I wouldn't be able to help with anybody except, my mother's immediate family, because we were very, very close as a family. Like I said, all my siblings on that side, we grew up like I kept calling them siblings with my cousins. My first cousins, we all grew up like we were brothers and sisters.
Oh, that's awesome.
Instead of like cousins. And so we, that's how we used to refer to ourselves. And then our kids, we would refer to them as our nieces, we'd go niece/cousin or cousin/niece, because it was like we were, siblings of their parents. And so
right.
That's kind of how our, kids grew up, like that. But, wow, I'm just, but I just want, because I was like, I hope, one part of me said, because Margaret and Jean never had children, and I know she always wanted to have children.
Yeah.
And I'm like, so that part might be exciting for her. I said, but then again, I don't know, considering that Jean's not here now, how she would, So I was getting a little worried for her, and that was the only reason I said that. I was like, oh, gosh, I hope, this doesn't really knock her,
I was like, how can I do this in the most delicate way possible? But she's like, ooh, let me send you pictures. Ooh, this is so-and-so, and this is this. Like, she's very excited. Very excited. Because after she said Jean would have been ecstatic, I said, well, are you? Because I don't want to upset you in any way, da-da-da-da-da. And she's like, no, what do you need? Anything you need. And I told her I'm planning on going back to Wisconsin for Halloween, because my youngest is there.
Okay.
So maybe after we talk the next month or so, I could jump down there and, pop in and say hi or whatever.
So how many children do you have?
I have 2.
And how old are they?
Devin's the oldest. He's 28. And he's got my grandson, Bison, who turns 3 in October.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and then Andre's the youngest, and he's 23. And he's still back in Madison.
Okay.
But Devin's...
Is that where you grew up?
I grew up north. You're kind of familiar with Wisconsin, right? Do you know where you know where Sheboygan is?
I've heard of it. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, I grew up there. Adopted by a white family, and that wasn't good, but they had a really big family too, but I don't talk to any of them. There's 2 nieces that I talk to, because I don't know, I just always got along better with them than anybody in my family. And that's about it.
Well, I will definitely be calling Renee because this is like, Margaret may, call her anyway or before I get to it. But I mean, the irony being that I talked to her about you before I talked to anybody else.
Yeah, yeah.
And here, that's your aunt.
And now you can confirm it. Yeah.
Yeah, that she has a niece.
Yeah. Yeah.
I know that's gonna blow her completely away. And again, your birth mother's name is
Jewel Dean Gray.
Jewel Dean Gray. Wow.
Gray. Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Well, now you have. This is my cell number, so you can text me or whatever, like I said, because I'm visiting, and so I wasn't going to spend any time talking on the phone. That's like I told my goddaughter, I was like, I need to.
Yeah, I need to make a quick call, quick.
Right, because this is like, I'm like, dang, because I was like actually in the car, we were headed out to dinner when I got the message, and I was like, what?
Well, I was like, okay, if it was me, and either if I was on vacation or not, and then I get back from vacation, oh yeah, 3 days ago I found out that you're my whatever, I would have been like, oh, I wish you would have told me sooner.
Well, that's why I told you could still message me, but I just,
good.
I didn't think I was going to take any time to be talking, because I wasn't going to take time to try to talk on the phone and try to be doing all that while I'm visiting,
Right, yeah.
Trying to spend time with my family here. I didn't want to take that time, but then, when I, my goddaughter, when I came downstairs, she's like, well, did you call her yet? And I said, I didn't want to just call her out of the blue. I said, so I messaged her. I said, but I haven't got anything back yet. And then I said, let me see. And then I, put it on there. I said, oh, she said something. So now I am going to go post.
Yeah, I was live on Facebook when you messaged me. I was like, oh, I'm getting a message from Ancestry. I got to go.
Oh, well, welcome to the family, first of all.
Thank you.
I'm just, I'm sorry that more of our family, it's like, well, we're getting older, and unfortunately, in this last year especially, we've had in the last 2 years, we've had a lot of deaths in our family.
Yeah.
I said Elsie passed away last year, and about 3 weeks after he died, then his oldest daughter passed. And Lynn was like my age. She was like 1 year older than me. So this was another one of our cousins, and I hate you can't pick up that picture doesn't come up on yours. I don't know why it comes up on my Facebook, because Lynn is in that picture too, and it's like, we were all at my cousin's funeral, but, I look at it now and I'm like, Lynn is gone and Jean is gone, so it's like.
Well, I noticed that everybody was passing kind of 70s, in their 70s. Is there a family history of a certain medical condition I should know about?
On the good side, I'll tell you that side first. My grandfather, your great-grandfather, lived to 99.
Okay.
He was 99 when he passed away. Our grandmother died at age 60. Your great-grandmother, my grandmother, died at age 60. And she had diabetes and kidney failure. Lots of diabetes. Diabetes does run rampant in our family.
Okay.
Diabetes is big. My mother died of liver cancer at age 74.
Sorry about that. Sorry to hear.
Jean's mom was, I think, 71 or 72, and she had either cervical cancer or ovarian cancer, because she had one, I can't remember exactly, but she had cancer as well, and it was a female, cancer.
Yeah.
Elsie, he didn't have cancer. I don't know what, but he didn't have cancer. Charles, I know he did not have cancer. I don't know exactly what he passed up. Mary had diabetes as well, and she died in her 60s.
Okay.
So, diabetes is like kind of the biggest thing, but we, just like anybody else, we've had some cancer. Like I said, my mother had liver cancer.
Okay, because I wasn't sure if it was like a constant thing the whole way through. But yeah, it sounds like it was just random.
Yeah, because like I said, the only thing that's really, like I said, is the diabetes. That's pretty, that's pretty common throughout. Well, with black folks, period. But I mean, that is really pretty common in our family.
Yeah.
So, and David, the only living, my uncle and your great uncle, he's not very well himself. He had prostate cancer.
Okay.
But he's that's not that's in remission. That's not active now, but he's not in the best of health right now. But that's it. And then you have, as I said, you just have the one aunt, sister that Jean had, and her husband passed away a couple of years ago too. I believe 2, maybe 3. Now time just seems to go. So, but her husband passed away a few years back.
Okay.
And she had one son, Anthony. And actually, you're close in age. Let's see, Anthony. Let's see, I have to go back to my nephew's going to be 48. Well, she was 16. Oh my gosh.
We're same age. Well,
She was 16 when she had Anthony. No, and she's getting ready. She and I are the same age, and we're both getting ready to be 65 next month. So I guess Anthony's already 50. Oh my God, yeah. So anyway, but he has 4 children, but he also has I don't even know. I lose count of how many grandchildren he has. So Renee has great grandchildren as well.
So Anthony's kids would be my cousin? My first cousin?
Anthony is your first cousin because your father and his mother are siblings. So he's your first cousin.
Aunt, cousin. Oh, okay.
Yeah, so then he's got kids that would be like, kind of like coming up like we are with, his
right.
second, and then his kids have some kids. So, yeah, wow. This is, one of the reasons, too, why I really was wanting to help and find, because I've watched that program, what's it called, Long Lost Family or whatever, where they use Ancestry and reunite, these first families, and I've watched that a lot, and I always think, I have no idea what that's like, obviously, but I always think, you want to know.
You have to. You can't, you
Because
cannot have a sane holiday, birthday. You can't have a sane event in your, I'm going to cry, but you can't be whole without connecting this. Like, this is so important.
I understand.
So important.
I really do understand
yes.
that, Dee. I truly do. I really, really do.
Because it was really, really hard. It's so hard. So hard. But, there's just a part of you missing, and you can't, I couldn't be my best potential. I couldn't strive to be better, because there was always that in the back of my mind, like, why did nobody keep me,
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's really, really, really good now. I'm good. I can cry now, but before I couldn't function. Birthdays, Mother's Day, Father's Day, I couldn't function. I wouldn't go to work ever. It was bad.
Well, I'm happy for you.
Yeah.
I'm sorry that you did not get to know Jean, because, I loved him to death. I'm just sorry that you, and really sorry that he didn't get to know you.
Yeah. Yeah, 4 months.
Really
4 months different, or all Jewel had to say is one thing, and I could have met him. Because Margaret said July was right around the time he was diagnosed.
Yeah.
So if he would have met me.
I'm telling you, if you ever get to see that picture, it was in July, and like I said, that was the day. He hadn't been diagnosed yet, but that was the day that he told me that he said, and we knew that he didn't look good. And he didn't eat there, and he just said, I'm not feeling, he said, I don't want to tell you now, I don't want to tell you on the phone since I see you now, he said, something's going on with me, and, and he was telling me how he hadn't been able to eat and keep anything, and all this stuff, and so then from there, it was just like following it every step of the way, and then I was like in Chicago, because my dad was sick, and see, I lost my dad last year,
Oh,
like I said, so many deaths in our family, but I was
yeah.
there because my dad was sick, and then that's when things really started going down there. Like, okay, they're giving him 6 months, and then it was like 2 weeks later he was gone.
Wow.
And I'm like, so
Wow.
yeah, that picture was, so it's just
Yeah.
that's that's just the way that is, and nothing we can do about that. But
Hmm.
anyway, I'm gonna because I know my goddaughter's probably asleep. We were supposed to be up watching movies tonight, but I was
Okay.
like, she's like, oh yeah, call, So,
Okay. Okay.
but like I said, this is my cell number, so you can text. You can text me. You can still reach me through SMS, but
Yeah.
you can text as well. And then once I'm back home, we can talk again.
Okay, that sounds good.
Okay.
All
All
right.
righty.
Thank
Well,
you so
take
much.
care.
You too.
You're welcome. And again, well, I'm just so happy this worked out, and so quickly too. I didn't think it would work out this
Yes, really fast.
quickly.
Well, I found my mom's side in 4 days. We pieced it, everybody together. Great, great, great
Wow.
people. Yeah. So, but yeah, I will be in touch.
Wonderful. Okay. Take care and have a good night.
Okay, you too. Bye bye.
Bye bye.
How could she keep me from a family who has so much love to give? If Jewel, if I was talking to Jewel right now, I'm so angry that she. Okay, I this is all I can say right now because I don't know the whole story. But because she is so selfish, she kept me from a family who obviously were yearning for a child. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. And I didn't even get into, like, I know eventually somebody in this family is going to ask me about my adopted life, and um I am not going to sugarcoat it when they ask me. So, just like how when I met with Andre and he's like, "Oh, I don't know how old I am." You know, I I'm just going to tell